Drag racing machines are frightening things. 0 to 150 in less than 1 second. G-forces more than you'd experience in a rocket launch. You get in one of these cars and you're sitting on a bomb. But that doesn't seem to worry two top Australian drivers, Rochelle Splatt and Jim Reid. They're known as Beauty and the Beast.
The smell of the nitromethane, burning of the rubber in the burnout. You step on that throttle, it's like something you've never experienced.
The whole car just shakes and vibrates and rocks, and when I'm sitting on the start line and it's doing that, that's when I enjoy it.
That's a good feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it.
These are the world's most powerful racing cars, top-fuel dragsters. And here's the view when they're going more than 400 kilometres an hour. It's a ride Australia's Mr. Drag Racing, Jim Reid, has taken 1,000 times.
When you step on the throttle, you can imagine you've got 2,000-pounder race car only with 5,000 horsepower, wanting to go down a quarter mile, and it thrusts you back in the seat and you can't move.
At 51, Jim Reid has won 14 national titles. But tonight, with considerable hype from the commentators, his crown is under threat from the unlikeliest of challenges.
Man versus woman.
Okay, well, I tell you what.
It's going to be a hard one. Jim don't want a woman to beat him, and Rochelle don't want a man to beat her.
I tell you what, it's going to be a great race. How can the freak...
Rochelle's in. Rochelle's done it. She's gone
Do you mind
over
that sort of
first
thing?
win.
Man against woman?
No, I don't mind it. I mean, they do it to get the crowd going and make the crowd interested. And I think the crowd love coming and seeing a woman and a man race against each other.
You know, it doesn't necessarily bother me, but some of the younger guys out there, I guess they don't like the thought of Rochelle beating up on them. Even some of the older guys, admittedly, they probably don't like her beating up on them, but, you know, you'd rather one of the boys beat you.
Here in Australia, there are only 10 drivers racing these nitro-burning machines, and only one of them is a woman, Rochelle Splatt. 2 years ago, in her very first race, Rochelle won the national championships. The promoters couldn't have asked for better. Rochelle's win set up the perfect rivalry. Young versus old, male versus female, or, as it's now advertised, Beauty and the Beast.
I think it's quite humorous myself.
Who's the beauty and who's the beast?
I'm definitely the beauty, aren't I?
Well, I think I'm the beauty and he's the beast.
It's up racing! Oh, look, the breakdown! The bombs, both the tyres!
The controls inside this machine are unbelievably simple. Steering wheel, every car's got to have one. These things control the fuel flow. One for the warm-up, and this one for when you're going flat out. Flat out, it flows at a rate of 200 litres a minute. Over on this side, a handbrake that you hang on to and then let go on the amber light, and whack, the accelerator. Interestingly, when you hit the accelerator, the fuel is already flowing at its full rate. So what the accelerator does is open these butterflies up the back and let the air in. In a sense, the acceleration is coming from the air. Acceleration, more than 100 miles an hour in less than a second.
People from NASA said, no, it's impossible. You cannot make a 2,000-pound object move from a standing start over a quarter mile and achieve 200 miles an hour. So when we went and achieved 200 miles per hour, they said, well, you won't go any faster than 210 miles an hour. That's the fastest you'll ever go. So when we went 250 miles an hour, they said, get out of here, we don't want to know you. We could have given them some advice how to get their rockets onto the moon quicker.
And they're nearly as costly as rockets. $700 in just fuel for 5 seconds. plus wear and tear. Billy cart wheels.
Yes, but they're designed to do 300 miles an hour.
Do you mind if I kick them?
Yeah, go right ahead.
What's under here?
Underneath here is the fuel tank.
And all this?
This is the brain of the car. We've got clutch management system, we've got a fuel management system, and we've got a computer system.
Computers.
Yes, they're indispensable on these cars.
I understand this. This is to keep you alive if you make a mistake.
Yes, that's right.
The business end?
Yeah, this is the business end, 5,000 horsepower here.
No tread on the tyres.
No, we need maximum width to get down the racetrack for traction.
How much?
Brand new, $250,000.
Jim is a full-time professional drag racer with a tobacco company picking up his bills. But such sponsorship will be banned next year, so it could be curtains for Jim. So when the tobacco promotion ban goes into effect, that's going to be, give or take, $250,000 out of your pocket.
At least, at the bare minimum, it'll be over $250,000 out of my pocket, yes.
So how are you going to make it up?
My biggest problem with getting another sponsor is I've been with the tobacco company so long, we're in the Guinness Book of Records. We're the longest individual sponsored person in the world by anybody, 23 years. And they claim I'm a bit typecast, you know, like an actor.
Rochelle is new to the drag racing stage, 25 years old, glamorous, and with an army of fans.
My mate here and I, we drove all the way down from Canberra to Calder to see a race, and now we've come all the way to Sydney to see a race.
Already signed in.
Yeah, can I get a signing on the back of my jacket? I'm trying to get...
Rochelle spent last year driving in the United States, drag racing's mecca. Over there, she ran under 5 seconds, the performance benchmark, and became the first woman ever to top 300 miles an hour. No one's ever done that in Australia, least of all her father, Ian Splatt, back in his drag racing days. Ian's now her team manager and quite happy to support his daughter from the pits. When those tyres are spinning and the fire's pouring out the back and she's about to go down the track, do you worry?
Not now, because I know she's capable of it. When she first started, yes. They tried to get me to take videos of the car. That didn't work because it was shaking. And, of course, I'd put the video down when she took off.
When Jim goes racing, it's an even bigger family affair. 2 of his sons, Bruce and Phil, are in the pit crew, and wife Denise is always there.
Oh, I'd be lost without my family. I couldn't go racing without my family. You know, my life's in their hands. My sons, everyone knows what they've got to do. I totally trust them.
But still, accidents happen. In 1990, this was nearly Jim's last run.
I was very fortunate somebody was watching down on me, I think. Because really, I shouldn't be here.
The shock of the crash left Jim a diabetic, but incredibly, he was able to walk away. Because they crash, is that why you're reluctant to let Phil follow in your footsteps as a driver?
Well, I don't know whether I could stand there and watch. It's a worry. It's a real worry. I really have never, ever wanted my kids to drive because I know the dangers of it.
Do you ask yourself sometimes, why am I doing this when the risks are quite serious?
I ask myself why, and but then when you get to the racetrack and you do it over again, it makes it all worthwhile, just that excitement and that adrenaline.
These exciting things don't just crash, they explode. Getting out fast is everything.
Whenever I get down there, I like to just jump out straight away, just in case there's a small fire or something.
Or a big one.
Or a big one, yeah, because you can't see what's behind you. You can't see whether you're on fire or not.
8, come on, you can do it, come on, and go, and 9, good.
There are 9
Come
big
on,
drag
and
meets
10,
this year.
good.
And the girl with the rose tattoo is building up for the next one.
9. Good. Up.
Since her return from the United States, Rochelle is one race up on the old fox, Jim, and with this sort of regime, she plans to stay that way.
Come on, push it. Up. Good. That's it. 6. Good. Come on.
Rochelle, it's great to have her back in Australia. It's even better to have her back at Eastern Creek.
Hi, my name's Rochelle Slayton. I drive the Dragway Bob J.C. Martin Top Fuel car.
Rochelle qualifies for the following day's eliminators, and first up, she's to meet Jim.
The girl. I got the hardest run out of all of you.
You got her.
You'll be right, I'll never live it down. I'll get out the end and stay there.
Do you get the feeling that his manhood is at stake here?
Well, probably, yes.
People try to compare her to myself quite a lot.
Yeah.
And I really don't think it's a fair comparison. She's got a long way to go yet.
The two crews, Jim and Rochelle's, work through the night preparing their cars. Indeed, between every race, sometimes 3 or 4 times a day, the dragster's engines are totally stripped down and then rebuilt. Then, just before race time, they fine-tune. The critical performance factor is the volume of fuel flowing to each cylinder. It's set taking careful account of air density and track conditions.
It looks a lot smoother than that. Look at that.
Oh, here.
The overall winner today will take home around $11,000. It's barely enough to pay for the burnt rubber. But for Jim and Rochelle, there's much more than prize money at stake.
Have you decided what lane he's taking?
We'll take the top one if Graham doesn't oil.
That one?
Yeah, then we'll be gentlemen-like and we'll give you the bad lane.
Thanks.
Pleasure. Good luck.
This is this run between Rochelle's flat here on in the Snap-on Field lane and Australia's Jim Reed.
The will to win is the beast, isn't it? You're there to win races, not to lose them, so got to be a bit of a beast.
Just down on Rochelle, but she's coming back strong. It's close. It's close.
It's green.
5:02 for Jim Reed.
Richard Ellicott.
You think you're going to do it?
Told you, I'm old and crafty.
Looking at Jim and I'm thinking, come on, car, come on.
Rochelle versus Jim, youth versus experience, novice against veteran, beauty against beast, whatever. It's a rivalry that will cause Jim Reed a few more aches and pains yet, and one that will pull in the crowds, keen to see if the beauty can beat the best.
I'm getting there.
Real fast.
Probably, yeah, faster than what anyone expected, yeah.